Hello, everybody, and welcome to S&M Talk Sports, your leading sports provider. Here with us today is Siobhan Flattery, going to talk and discuss about Derrick Rose and how he recently re-injured his knee. Siobhan, take it away.
Oh, and this is Michelle, since she didn't introduce
yes.
herself. So, hello, Michelle. Okay, so on Tuesday, it was announced that Derrick Rose will need surgery for his right knee. He tore his right meniscus again. Sorry. And this will be his third knee surgery since he tore his ACL in 2012. Now, if none of you know about Derrick Rose, which I'm hoping all of you do because we're in a sports broadcasting
Just
class.
a little background.
He tore his ACL in 2012 for the beginning of the playoffs of that year, and then he was out. And then when he came back for the first time, what was it, in 2013, he tore his right meniscus at the Portland game, and he was out for the remainder of that season starting with in November. So he came back this season. He played about 45 games. He was averaging 18 points, 5 assists. He played 31 minutes per game. And besides November, because November he was out for a few games because he had an injury, he was playing. He was great. And then recently he was complaining that his knee was in pain. Nothing like dramatic like how he tore it when he played Portland, but he just said, my knee, like, it feels weird, it's in pain. So they were like, okay, go to the doctor.
Go to the doctor. Continue.
Oh. No, because the thing stopped. They were like, okay, go to the doctor. They did an MRI, and they were like, your right meniscus is torn.
Again.
So this will be his third time, and people took to Twitter. They're really upset about it because this poor man, he can't catch a break. 2011, he was MVP. People thought he was unstoppable. I'm pretty sure he'd probably be one of the best point guards, if not the best point guard, if it wasn't for all his injuries. And he's trying to make a comeback to be the 2011, his 2011 MVP self, and he just keeps his poor knees. Just keeps getting knocked down.
Yeah, one of the it's Jess. Have you ever seen that show?
No.
He's from Chicago, one of the cast members, and he said, to all those Chicago fans, you should stop hating on Derrick Rose. And he actually said, end quote, Derrick Rose is the best thing that happened to the Bulls since Michael Jordan, and comparing him in that aspect. I mean, I feel really bad for Derrick Rose. I mean, this poor guy, he continues to just have such bad luck. I mean, but what people don't realize is football, you have a lot of injuries and a lot of, you have more time to recover. But with basketball, you have a game almost every other day. It's such a tough season.
Yeah.
And especially with basketball, they have the capability to dunk, and they're using every muscle in their body. So you're obviously going to get hurt more. But what SportsCenter just wrote an article about Derrick Rose, they said that Derrick Rose quote, Bulls are holding out hope that Derrick Rose can return to floor at some point this season.
They're trying to be optimistic about it. They're hoping it'll be like a 6-week recovery, but he has two options when it comes to it. He can either get the meniscus removed, but that's longer rehab, or they said they'd shave it down, and that will be a quicker recovery, and hopefully he'll make it for playoffs. But then you have to also think, whatever he decides to do, you need to think of long term. Yes, you need to think of basketball because this is his career, although he's still getting paid. But think about when he's done and he's old. You don't want him to be crippled or get arthritis, which I'm pretty sure he's going to get.
Which would completely end your career anyway.
Yeah. Or just who wants that in their later years?
Yeah. So SportsCenter, they interviewed, this is from SportsCenter, Bulls swingman Jimmy Butler said after Wednesday's 98-86 loss to the Charlotte Hornets that he spoke to Rose on Tuesday night and again on Wednesday morning and called Rose high-spirited. Quote, I think we're all optimistic about it, Butler said. When asked about the possibility of Rose returning this year, quote, we want him back and I'm sure he's going to try and get back as soon as possible. Bulls center Joakim Noah wasn't sure if Rose would be back this season, but he admitted being very upset when hearing about the news on Tuesday. Quote, just really sad, Noah said. Angry, sad. He doesn't deserve it. It's just really disappointing. I feel bad for him, but I know he's a tough guy and he's going to bounce back. So a lot of people in the NBA are taking the news to Derrick Rose really emotionally because it could happen in seriously a blink of the eye.
Yeah.
You come down from a shot, you come down hard from a dunk, and that's what happened in Love and Basketball.
Even I think his name Luol Deng. He plays for the Heat now. It's his first time with the Heat, but he was a teammate with Rose from 2008 to 2014. He said when they asked him about it, that he was almost in tears when he heard that he was injured again. He was like, it's totally different when you know the person. And obviously, like, Derrick Rose is well respected and people like him. Like, so many people took to Twitter. I think LeBron James, Paul George, they all tweeted at him. Like,
wasn't Paul George injured? He had that
he's out
really
for this
nasty.
season. Yes,
he had that really nasty
let's
break
not talk about
during a USA game.
Yeah.
Was it?
He's
It
out
was
for
a
this season.
FIBA.
That was
FIBA.
honestly. Did you see that video? It was disgusting.
That was horrible. I watched it live.
But yeah, so I mean, they said they can't really say anything about it, like his recovery, until he actually gets the surgery, and whichever option he chooses, I'm sure he's trying to come back for playoffs. So, but it's just, I don't know, it's sad. And also coming, I feel bad for him because I'm a Dwayne Wade fan personally, and that man has had so many injuries, like with his knees or like hamstrings and everything, and Wade will never be the player that he used to be. And part of it is, I guess, because of so many injuries. He's still a great player. I don't care what anyone says. But that's kind of the way, like, he's so young, Derrick Rose, and from how he was to 2011, and everyone was like, he's going to make this comeback. He's going to come back. He'll be in shape. And then just to have that, that's such, like, also a mental breakdown for him, I feel like. Besides, like, trying to get rehab and, like, get back physically, I think it's more, like, mentally how you come back. And that'll be a struggle.
Yeah, and out of like 3 seasons, he's only played like, 165 games?
Yeah.
Or 2 seasons. Over the span of 2 seasons, he's only played like 165 games, which is so sad because he seems like, the NBA gets a lot of flack for not being, as good as watching NCAA basketball because they don't have the tenacity, they don't have the fire and the passion about playing as some NCAA players, but you can definitely see it in Derrick Rose that he wants to, he has that still the flame,
Yeah.
So our prayers go out to Derrick Rose. Hope you get better soon. But that's all the time we have for today. Thank you for joining us for S&M Talk Sports. Join us next week, same time, same place, and
we'll see you then.